And here we are. Welcome back, everybody. Ming, Mike, thanks for stopping on by again.
3-alarm fire.
So this week, I know you normally got your I Sell Comics thing, and you actually, one of the things I'm going to start right off strong is y'all got a new sponsor for a shared universe, and I got to see some of the stuff, and I'm not going to lie, I'm jealous as hell.
I wait till you see the rest of it. Big shout out to Fanboy Collectibles of Massachusetts and our friend Troy Emmy. We're always looking for sponsors, but the ones that we really want are have stuff that we want as well, basically, as you know. And
you cracked me up because you're like, what can we get out of this? Hey, this is awesome. Not just money. You want stuff. And
statues.
God bless you, buddy, because you know what? You rake that stuff in, and it's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, and I think it made a natural fit. We've been selling statues in the stash for over 20 years. We've been collecting statues, and I know 3-alarm. Statues make up a big part of your business.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, this is stuff that we love. And Troy, we met him because he runs that. If you go to San Diego, New York, C2E2, whatever. He runs the big, gigantic booth with all the statues and figures. He's that guy when you're passing by. He's got like the XM, the premium, the Sideshow premium format, and they're all in the top row. And you're scared because you're afraid it'll domino and fall over and break.
You hear him creaking. You walk by, you're like, oh my God, did I just step on a loose floorboard? Am I knocking stuff over? And
I was scared when he was walking around his own personal collection. The whole time I'm thinking, please don't trip. Please don't trip. Please don't trip.
and
replace it.
Dude, that was just freaking awesome. I would almost, he should turn that into a museum. Just let you charge money to go around and just look.
Well, he's got 3 takers right here. I mean,
Problem is, I want to go in and I'd let Ming distract him while we maybe kind of found one or two that were extra.
Got to carry out the full-size General Grievous on our back.
Yeah. Well,
so I befriended him over the years. He's got a lot of our friends who work for him and travel with him to cons. And I just I threw him a pitch. I'm like, hey, you sell statues. We love statues. He's like, yeah. And, he's like, listen, I was like, how are you doing? Cause cons were a major part of his business. I've seen, I love seeing people do like the $900 statue impulse buys at a con. It's great because it's something I want to do, but I can't. Like I can't. I can't just be like 900. Can you do 890? I'm like, all right, sold. But I've seen it and it makes me happy.
I've seen you do stuff at cons that like blow my mind.
Are we allowed to talk about this?
Oh yeah. Well, that's going to be behind a Patreon wall. So keep your eyes peeled, folks. No, I've seen Ming pick up comics that he's wanted. It's like, hey, first appearance of Hawkeye, give me that. And he's actually, doled out the dough, and they hand it over to him.
Actually, we'll tell you a quick story related to that. We did a con in Kentucky once, and they had bundled in our autographs and photos with like a Kevin Smith VIP package. So and everyone bought that, and they kind of got us thrown in. So at the end of the con, they're like, "Oh, all right, well, here's your cut, boys." And we looked at the amount. We're like, holy crap. I remember calling Mike. I'm like, dude, get over here. we had a really good weekend. Yeah. Like usually they don't bundle us in with Kevin's stuff too. So, we took a little, I guess theoretically we took a slice out of his, although what he made, he wasn't complaining about either because he's Kevin. But, we did really well. So we were leaving the con and we saw a major comic book retailer. They were packing up. And I remember we were looking at each other and we were like, all right, let's go. And we started picking out books like it was like, it was like the end of Wheel of Fortune or something. Or we were just like, all right, First Vision, how much? Okay, I'll take that. Is that a first Deadpool? Okay, we'll take one of those. it was, you know, we didn't go super crazy, but it was fun, man.
Yeah,
It
put
was
the rest
fun.
on an American Express gift certificate.
Yeah, it was fun. I was like, man, I could get used to this, and yeah,
We never did again, but it was pretty cool.
Well,
yeah,
I
we haven't done it
I
yet.
can't wait for conventions to. Well, it's bittersweet. Basically, we've even had people come in and buying stuff, you know, like those $900 statues and, you know, $2,000 books because they're. Oh, hold on a second, I got to sneeze. Damn it, lost it. You know, basically same thing. They since there's no conventions this year, the money that they were going to use on the conventions, they have turned around and bought stuff that they actually have wanted for a while. So it's turned out freaking brilliant.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Because they come in and they're like, "Listen, I'm not going to New York Comic Con now because it's been canceled. So what I was going to spend on my hotel and fare to get there, give me that first vision that you bought in Kentucky and are flipping for however much you're flipping it for." So
well, hopefully for too much longer, thanks to Mike, I'll have that Dark Knights, Legends of the Dark Knights death metal back from CGC pretty soon. So I just went ahead and sent it straight off to there. So I sent 5 copies of the regular and then the variant.
Good for you, man.
So hopefully it'll come back in while it's still worth something.
Yeah, that'd be nice, right?
So but yeah, like this week, anybody listening, if you can find them, pick up that Venom 27. Those things are going for like hotcakes right now. I just said on eBay already, the regular cover is going for $15.
Yeah, look at Ming. Ming's walking us through. I guess he was getting
the tour
by mosquitoes.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
Trying to get closer till we get better Wi-Fi earlier.
Yeah, better Wi-Fi. I was outside. I was doing an online trombone lesson. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to.
You can do something.
Yeah, I know. He's going to lock up for a bit.
You can do something. So let's talk Turkey. Let's talk DC Comics.
Dude, the fact the fact that they're getting rid of DC Direct, which to me was kind of one of the biggest things that sold very, very well for us.
Yeah.
And you know, I was actually, I don't know how far I can get into this without getting somebody in trouble, but I was actually dealing with some stuff today, and come to find out, one of the biggest problems we have, we use the Comic Suite, which is Diamond System, their POS system. And we got to bring Ming back in.
There you go.
We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that, Ming.
Ming.
Basically, they have they keep changing how they're doing their spreadsheets, so you can hardly ever get anything into the system to to update for stuff, and it's gotten to be kind of a pain in the butt. And I'm just, the fact that they're letting go of all these editors, and some of these guys they let go are some long time people that have known what they're doing for a long time,
20 plus years. I'm astonished. I'm baffled by what their end game is. They're talking about doing mostly digital content and bookstores and young readers, and I get that we need to get younger readers in, but don't forget about us oldsters.
Oh yeah, the guys that have kept you surviving this long.
I know, and that's the thing that boggles my mind, is that's what they're doing. They're getting rid of, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater,
Right.
And,
they're losing so much history out of by doing this.
Right. And I think death metal is supposed to bring back the multiverse in all its glory. Not just 52, but whatever. I mean,
right, but who's left to write it though? Who's left to write the rest of the chapters in the stories, right?
Freelancers. That's what you want. Freelancer.
Yeah, Mike. Here's your chance. You can be a bona fide DC freelancer.
You know what? I'll be a freelance editor. You know what? I said it before. I'll say it again. You need that guy with the vision. You need that guy, the architect. You need that guy who's gonna sail you through, like real troubled waters. You don't need a politician. You don't need that guy who's like a Didio, who's going to be a glad hander and tell people what they want to hear. You need somebody who's going to go in there, Their only focus is to make sure that
AT&T is happy.
Well, that they're,
Yeah, basically.
yeah, go for. I mean, make somebody happy, not nobody. So, and
well, my thing is, if they decide to go all digital, and everything else, this is one thing I've told people for a long time. I've had numerous friends, a lot of them in the comic industry, saying, 10, 15 years ago, that they would, that the age of, as they call them, floppies were over. All this stuff's going to go to digital. They're only going to come out with graphic novels and trade paperbacks. And I mean, here it is, 10, 15 years later, and we're still getting comics in because, one, that collector mentality is going to be hard to get rid of. That's not something you just phase out overnight. But also, this is product. These are things that keep these characters in the mainstream's eye while the next movie or TV show or whatever is coming out. And to kill it off and just to go strictly digital, I think is going to be a horrible decision. And like I said, if they do decide to continue doing comics, I still see them going back to Diamond before at some point time or another, because it's a big cluster right now.
It is, and I've not had too many problems with UCS.
That's what we use too.
Not too many problems, but there have been some. And here's the thing, Scott. This is an old guy talking, and I'm not even that old, for God's sake. I'm still buying stuff. I'm still continent. It's great.
Oh yeah.
You sure about that?
I'm hold on. Let me yeah, we're good. Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers, who had one of the they were one of the biggest dealers in music. Warner Studio. Warner.
Yes.
Everything music went to digital.
Right.
You had everybody stealing from them.
Yep.
One guy would buy a CD, and everybody had access to that CD. So you're buying, 9,000 of his closest friends are downloading his CD.
Mm-hmm.
And they were defeated by a Sharpie. They put that thing around the outside so you couldn't do it. Some kid from probably MIT. I hope he's not in Warner right now. I hope he's over at Disney. But you figured out that if you just take that rim and hit it with a Sharpie, you can defeat the code.
Right.
That was it. So there's going to be a Napster for comic books. There already is.
Oh, there already is. Actually, right now you can go. I mean, I'm not going to promote them on here, but there are quite a few sites I know of that basically all they're doing is they'll get one subscription to like Comixology or wherever. And even though it's supposed to be all copyright protected, as well as I do, for every way that they copyright protect something, there's 10,000 new ways to come up to beat it. And you can go right now and pull stuff off of there with no problem.
God bless the Chinese, ladies and gentlemen. We'll find a way. We'll find a way.
That's the whole thing, is that they're so short-sighted that it came around again. We're going to go all digital. It's going to screw you in the end because nobody's going to pay for it.
And as well as I do in this industry, if they decide to go all digital and do it for a while, that's going to keep them out of the limelight. And if you're gone more than a couple of months, nobody remembers who you are when you come back.
No.
That's the quickest way to become the death of a in the comic book medium, is to not put stuff out on time or not put stuff out at all, and because people will just move on to the next thing.
That's why they did reprints. That's why you notice that there are some comic books back in the 70s. They reprinted Daredevil. One of the most famous ones is Avengers 150. It was supposed to be this big comic book, and George Perez got, I think that was Steve Englehart's second to last issue.
Mm-hmm.
And George Perez got a little bit behind because he's drawing 22,000 characters, and he couldn't make it. So they gave him a framing sequence, and then boom, they put Avengers 16 in there, I think it was.
Right.
The old order changeth, and that was their standard thing. We have to put a book out every month. We have to. And nowadays they're like,
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. But I mean, you go back even as with the Frank Miller Dark Knight stuff. The first 4, that didn't come out on time. But when they did the second one, there was like buzz around like crazy about this new book coming out that Frank Miller's doing, continue on the Dark Knight. And the first issue came out, and then it took forever for number 2, and then even longer for number 3. So by the time number 3 came out, I had number 1s in our dollar boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And
nobody cared anymore.
And maybe I had maybe 5 pre-orders for number 3.
I know, it's insane, right? And that's the mentality. And can you blame people for that?
No, not at all. Well, it's like when you're promised something, you kind of want it. You understand things happen, but you kind of want it in some kind of timely fashion.
Yeah, and I'm not naming names ever. So, not naming names.
Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna do something really quick. If for anybody that's watching and watches later, I'm really excited about something here. A good friend of ours, we kind of wanted to have it done before the kind of the grand reopening of Shared Universe, but
past guest of the 3 Alarm Comics podcast live stream.
Yes, a guy by the name of Jeff Johnson, and he actually does his own live stream with Joe Quesada and Dave Johnson and Dan Panosian called the Original Drink and Draw Society. You can catch any of those on YouTube. But Jeff was kind enough to do something which I'm hoping will end up being a print available that y'all can buy off of the Shared Universe website.
Oh, it will. It'll be on everything. It'll be on
comics.
and the original belongs to Mr. Zapcic right here. So, or y'all can just share it and put it up in the studio.
Absolutely. I love to share. I'm a sharer, Scott.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put it up while I run go grab a drink right quick. But here it is.
Oh wow.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, there you go. So you have one of Mike's favorite characters, Wonder Man. Well, now he's Wonder Mike.
Damn straight.
With the safari jacket, and I am depicted as Snake Eyes or Snake Ming, I guess, or Ming Eyes, or I don't know. We'll come with something more clever than that.
That's racist, buddy.
Yeah, and we're busting out of the chains, much like which issue of Superman was that? That Neil Adams, his famous cover of
32.
Superman, busting out of the kryptonite chains. Which is that art still on the side of the fake counter in the back of the store?
Yes,
it is. Okay, yeah, I love it.
So yeah, I think it's just freaking beautiful, and thank you, Jeff, for doing this for us.
And Scott, thank you for having him do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
I'm so honored.
Well, like I said, for me, it's one of those things. You two kind of come along and getting to know Ming really well first, and then Mike afterwards. What we've done on here with letting y'all join in or letting us join in with the Shared Universe is, it's helped us out tremendously, and you kind of got to show the love and give back.
We're glad, but I wish everybody thought like that, but that's okay. That's not why we do it. We do it because we're all having fun doing this. And
absolutely.
One day Mike will go through the official initiation, the official Biloxi initiation, and eat 8 pounds of barbecue at the shed.
Damn straight.
Or if you depends on what time you come, we'll go down and maybe do a crawfish boil out behind the shop.
Oh damn. Now you're speaking my language, Scott.
Oh yeah, if we do it, we usually do it. Depending on how many people, we have at least 50 pounds, usually about 100 pounds of crawfish. And we found out something. We found out something this year. We tried. A friend of mine had told me about it. Never thought about it. We'd always done stuff like you'll take canned vegetables like green beans and asparagus. You take the paper off, clean the glue off, and you poke holes in it. And you drop it in the crab boil as well. So when it's done, you just open up the can and it's all right there instead of scattered everywhere. But one of the guys I work with said, "Have you ever tried doing chicken quarters, leg quarters?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" He said, "Yes." He said, "After you're done boiling everything else, you take a couple of bags of leg quarters, put them in there, let them boil for about 30 minutes and get them cooked. You pull them off, drain them, let them dry, and then you put them on a grill with barbecue sauce."
Oh yeah.
Well, we tried it for Mardi Gras, and it was insane. It was crazy good.
Mike, why don't we live like that up here? What the hell, man?
because we don't have swamps, which I would love. I want some swamps around here, and I don't know, Ming. Chickens aren't running around, and I'm not really into butchering them right now.
Well, I know Ming's coming down for PinceCon next year if it happens. I guess I'm about to put a phone call into Mike Inslee, and maybe we'll get you down. And maybe if we can work it where y'all can stay a couple extra days, we'll just have you come back to the shop with us afterwards, and we'll have a. Ming will tell you if there's one thing we can do is eat.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, and you've got. If we're staying a couple days, you might as well put me to work behind the register.
I'm good with that. Oh, yeah. And there's a good cigar shop up the road, so you'll be in hog heaven.
I want to mention that earlier, about 5 minutes ago, you saw Mike light up a cigar, and you look like the comedian. You look like Jeffrey Dean Morgan lighting it with the blowtorch from the Watchmen movie. That was a pretty cool move. I know it was like just a scripto, but it's still pretty cool.
A grill lighter.
Yeah, the grill lighter, but that's still pretty cool. That's still pretty. I don't know
the way he's doing it right now. He looks more like Clint Eastwood. He got that that little cigar in his mouth.
I'm trying to remember the first time I saw anyone smoking a cigar in comics. Was it Wolverine or was it the Thing or was it someone else? The Thing.
Probably the Thing. Yeah.
Could have been Wolverine. Could have been Nick Fury.
Yeah. And we always joke how Joe Quesada is like no smoking in Marvel Comics like ever and again, and we're like, come on. You'd think I don't think that's what drove Mike to smoke cigars, but I could be wrong.
Cigars are awesome. That's what drove me to smoke cigars.
That's what I'm saying. They're relaxing. They're cigars. What a real man does, like Wolverine or Ben Grimm. But that's not why I do it. Or Nick Fury. But so Mark, you can never comment on any of your posts on Facebook for some reason. I will look into that, as I know my profile is completely public. So, and I haven't banned anyone that I know of.
Recently.
I'll have to look into that, Mark. I am not quite sure why that is, but
yeah, maybe because it might be shared from somebody else's thing and theirs might be private.
Yeah, possibly. But I'm just I think it's shared from all your stuff, all your guys' pages. So yeah, for sure.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, have you all heard? I mean, I don't know. You have to look at the thing. I had to post it the other day, but there's a little video. It's on my personal Facebook page. I found it hilarious, but I know some people are going to find it offensive, and I probably should have uploaded it onto here so we could play it. But look up the Great Masks Debate. Basically, it's the new thing around. I hear everybody's talking about the mask debate, but it sounds like they're saying masturbate over and over again.
I did see that, and anybody who's like, who the hell could find that offensive?
Oh, dude, I was giggling like a little kid.
Of course, 9 out of 10 people masturbate, and the other one's a liar. So,
oh yeah, so I mean, it's like hearing a good fart joke. It's just silly, asinine, and you gotta laugh.
And purely American.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's it's un-American to not fart, and it's un-American not to laugh at that fart. So I agree with both of you completely.
But I think now though, y'all got a bug on me going. So even regardless of what goes on with PinceCon or whatever, I think we will. Once this stuff calms down, get the two of you to come down, and maybe we'll do it coinciding whenever Mike Grell's here, because I know Mike Zapcic kind of wants to get something signed by him. So
huge fan of Mike's. Awesome.
I am too. And when you get a chance to probably hang out with him, I got to say Mike is probably one of the most down to earth. You want to geek out and talk comics with him and everything else. I mean that's all that I ever wanted to do. And then now that I'm friends with him, I don't think we've ever talked about comics one single time.
Well, wait, where does a Mike Grell conversation usually go to?
Now, we'll tell you this. Mike is a conversationalist, and he's done just about everything. And it's kind of funny. I was watching him while I was kind of his handler while he was doing a signing here at the shop. And over a period of time, I got to notice, I was like, Mike, afterwards we're out having a few cocktails. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I got to commend you. I said, I don't know how you do it, but, every time somebody comes up and says, hey, do you remember this? Or I saw you in so-and-so. I said, You have a story for it every single time. He's like, do you want to know the truth? I was like, yeah. He goes, honestly, listen next time. He goes, I've probably got about 10 or 15 good stories that I can easily segue into anything somebody else says.
I don't know anyone like that.
Oh, he's fucking brilliant. I'm telling you. And to watch him, if you ever get a chance, if you watch him draw with both hands at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, wow,
yes,
that's crazy.
It's amazing to watch. He can actually, like, I mean, Batman, Green Arrow, whatever, he can actually draw it with both hands as he goes along. I guess that comes in handy if you're trying to hurry and push stuff out.
Yeah, which I imagine he had to at many points in his career.
Well,
I watch him pencil with both feet. So,
and honestly, I love watching. And I found out. I remember a while back, I was looking for some pieces. I found out. I forgot I had donated them for a while to one of the. I think there's a museum over in Pensacola that was doing a comic book expo type thing. So that's where all this stuff is. As soon as I get it back, I do have a bunch of stuff. I said some of it's original Mike pages. I've got oh God, I'm trying to remember all kinds of stuff that was still sitting there. So hopefully I'll get that back pretty soon.
You have so much stuff that you're like, I forgot where I put it. I forgot who I
really did. I was actually nervous, and it took somebody else coming in who said, "Oh no, you donated it to them for that for a few months." I'm like, oh, okay, that's right.
For a few years, you told them they can have it.
Oh yeah. Not those pieces. Anything else, maybe, but not those pieces.
I love it. You're that guy. You're like, man, I hope he forgets about this. And sometimes you do.
Thing, I think I've got the cover to what was it? The Neil Adams book from Continuity. Not Mega Man.
Monolith? Not Monolith.
Was it
Monolith?
No, it wasn't Monolith either. But you know what I'm talking about. So I actually own the cover to number 2.
Okay. Wow.
That was given to me by Tex. He for my birthday. He ended up, I think Neil penciled it and he inked it or something like that. So
damn. Yeah, actually, Mark's he's a pretty generous guy. So
yeah, I talked to him the other day. He's doing pretty well throughout all this. So I'm happy to see that he's slowed down a little bit.
Where is old Mark Teixeira right now? And
he's in Connecticut.
Any chance of him popping in on one of these one day?
Probably so. I could actually,
okay.
If y'all ever wanted to get him on, if y'all wanted Mike on the I Sell Comics or something, we could easily make that happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. For some reason he loves me and Mike. I think I guess he's watched the show and he still likes us for some reason. So
Mike Grohl?
No, Mark Teixeira.
Mark, honestly, I mean, Mark, I don't think I found anybody Mark does not love. He's just the biggest, happiest Hispanic guy you've ever seen in your life. He is the Hispanic Santa Claus. He's always jolly, always having a good time.
It's so funny because I was looking through some stuff that you were talking about, having original art that you forgot about. I have an entire pile of stuff that I still have to get framed. A couple of Jeffrey Moy Legionnaires. I have Cosmic Boy and Saturn Girl because we had done something for his sister-in-law's. She was doing something and we donated to her, and she sent me these things. And then I underneath is the Mark Teixeira Scarlet Witch he drew for me. He's like Scarlet Witch. He's like, here's Scarlet Witch. I'm like, I didn't say yes or no, but I love her now. I mean, I've always loved Scarlet Witch. Yeah. But
it's like, hey, thanks, Tex.
Well, it's like when he was here, they stayed for Mardi Gras, and he, or they came down for a signing, and it was during the Mardi Gras time, and we have a parade that runs right in front of our shop. I don't know if I've told y'all this story before, but he went outside with his flip-flops on, a pair of shorts, and big old beads, and walked outside with a Sharpie and a thing of backboards and was going up to people. What do you want? And they're like, I'll take Spider-Man. Here's Ghost Rider. And they go, oh, what do you want? I'll take Batman. Here's Ghost Rider. And he was just having
That's awesome.
Well, sometimes you're really, really good at one thing when you're drunk. And I guess his is drawing Ghost Rider. So good for him.
Oh, I mean, he ought to know how to do it. Well, that's what a lot of people realize, but him and it was his brother-in-law also. what's his name? Javier Salazar.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know.
They both actually draw just alike, and most of the Ghost Rider stuff, Mark would like pencil an issue and Javier would ink it, and then the next one Javier would pencil and Mark would ink.
That's awesome.
But they both have such very similar styles; it's hard to tell one from the other.
Right. So it's like, I'm a little hungover today. Can you can you draw this page for me? It's like, sure.
I can only hold this big Sharpie. There we go. And
I'll hold the Sharpie. You move the paper. But if you ever get a chance to go to his house over in Connecticut, this guy is sitting on so much artwork. He's got original Presettas. He's got yes, he's got some insane artwork.
That's crazy. That's insane.
But what he would do was back in the day, he would trade some of his artwork for stuff he wanted, and with him being a fan of artists, he completely he was in a time where this stuff wasn't going for nearly what it's going now, and he was able to trade off one or two of his pages for something he wanted.
That's just insanity. That's like us being like, hey, can we have that page? We'll do 2 podcasts for you, and that would be pretty awesome if we could. We haven't been able to pull that.
Get something else done now too that we could have for something for y'all like this here, but instead of Hey Kids Comics, have a Hey Kids podcast and have like cartoony faces of all y'all of you two up there.
God, what a great idea! And we put that on like the microphones too with the flags or whatever they call them. Yeah, that would be fun.
Get stickers all over you made of them, things like that. Yeah.
Hey Kids podcast. All right, that's a $100 idea, Scott. Thanks. Or I love it.
I expect my cut.
Adam Ward, look at that. I love Adam. I love your profile picture.
That's
which,
a great
Mike Zapcic right in the middle. That's awesome.
And the girlfriend who doesn't know, why does this guy have his arm on me?
Yeah, stop touching me.
COVID. Get it off me.
Hopefully that was a pre-COVID picture.
Yeah, I don't know if I told this story. You brought up Neil Adams earlier. He opened up his own comic book shop in, I think, Burbank, California, right outside of LA where he lives. I think at first he called it Krusty Bunkers after his old kind of like, and I think he just changed it to Continuity Comics, which, in my opinion, probably a better name.
Most likely.
I think anybody who would get the humor behind Krusty Bunkers is probably like an old folks home right about now. But
Megalith,
I think
that was the comic.
Megalith, yes.
Sorry.
I think Krusty.
Monolith, Megalith. That's right.
Krusty Bunkers was kind of his like motorcycle gang like comic book crew, right? Back in the day, I think that's what he called them. His crew of like inkers and artists back in the day. But I remember
all the people that worked and never got any credit or pay.
Well, I didn't say that, but I remember right after opening, I was like, "Hey Neil, you opened a comic book shop. That's pretty cool. Like, why now? Like, why what was the inspiration behind this?" And he looked at me. He was like, "This is all your fault." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He had come in for a signing. About 5 years ago?
Yeah, 5 years ago.
And he got a great response. We did a Neil Adams signing at the Stash, and there was a line out the door. And I guess he did pretty well doing commissions, and he's charged for autographs. And I guess he did so well that he was inspired by us, and he was like, "Well, why don't I open up my own shop and I could do this every weekend?" And I guess that's what he's doing now. Yeah, although he's kind of got a name and a pedigree, and he's certainly got enough to sell over there. So hopefully he's doing well. I haven't had a chance to go over there yet, and I don't know. Hopefully he's surviving in this time. But I just love. He was like, "This is all your guys' fault." I'm like, "Wow, that's a weird thing to be blamed for."
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this though. I'm still in the mindset with Mike of fuck DC, but I've also got to say too, it's a bittersweet thing. It's helped. Excuse me. It's helped me out tremendously because a lot of shops here have decided not to carry any of them.
Wow.
And not to get a DC account or UCS or Lunar account. And it's just like I said, people want what they want, and it's driving a lot of people over to here.
That's awesome. Last man standing, man.
That is good.
Well, I mean, you know what's up. You know, you can't have a. You know, you like. I can't.
You have to have DC Comics. It sucks, but you know, and yes, they are pains in the asses, and they're messing stuff up for everybody. Yay, lights! They're messing stuff up for everybody, but I mean, their corporate overlords are telling them what to do. Hopefully, one of these days, Disney will strike up a deal, and we'll have DC and Marvel under one roof.
One roof. Well, what do you think about the newest rumor I saw that had come out? But apparently, you know, they kind of hinted at it in I think it was at Doomsday Clock or whatever. But they're talking about doing a DC, Marvel, and Image crossover.
That'd be great. I would love to.
I think it'd probably be a great boost to the industry. It might get a lot of hype out there, get things going. But you know, how awesome would it be to actually see Spawn and Spider-Man? Both done by McFarlane.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, who doesn't want to see Todd go back to Spider-Man? It's where his roots are.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even have him bring back Infinity Inc. for a little bit.
That's what I was about to go. Maybe he'll do a Spawn Spider-Man Infinity Inc. comic.
That would be awesome. I think the right move, instead of laying off all the writers and creators, they should have laid off all the lawyers and just let everybody go to town. Because that's the only thing holding them back is lawyers and money. That's it.
Yeah. Are you kidding me, Ming? Roving band of rabid lawyers around? Worse than like wolves.
Yeah, but then we get the crossovers that not only do we want that, but that we deserve. Everybody, we deserve these crossovers.
Yes. Are you kidding? Wildcats, Justice League, and the Avengers? That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you, there's so much stuff that they can do with it, and I'm hoping it ends up. I mean, you know as well as I do. You know, our market is a very, very small percentage of the population, because I've had somebody call and ask or talk the other day wanting to know if the movies and TV shows have brought people into shops and things like that, and my honest answer is no, because the people that like movies and TV shows, they like movies and TV shows.
Right.
They're not necessarily ever going to go back and look at any comics whatsoever. I mean, granted, there might be a few, but for the most part, they're not. But the comics collectors are you know, they're rabid for what they want. But hopefully this will, if something like this happens, it'll gain enough notoriety to bring in some people who would normally never step foot in a comic shop except for during Free Comic Book Day to get their free shit and leave.
Yeah, which we didn't even really get this year, although you know, it's kind of right. So
sporadic, but you know, we've gotten some stuff. And Scott, you bring up a great point, is that there's, I mean, 1 out of every 100 people maybe will become comic nerds if the stars align right, and it's not even a guarantee, because I mean, there are people who fall out of it. They're like, I love comics. And then they're like, I love girls. And they're like, wow, I love this pot. And, you know, and they never come back.
Right.
But the rabid ones, the 50 to 75 reservists you have, or maybe more, hopefully more. They're the ones that keep us going. Mm-hmm. The people who come in and are like, hey, a comic book. I haven't bought one of these in years. Few and far between.
Well, and that's what I kind of do. You know, speaking of your subscribers and stuff, and pull this. You know, we used to do, when we do events, we would do, you know, Free Comic Days or signings. We would always do some type of like little VIP package for people if they wanted to pay a little bit extra and get something extra. We did that for about 3 or 4 years. Then all of a sudden, it kind of dawned on me that I changed it up. So basically, the way we treat things now is, our subscribers, the people that keep our lights on, the people that come in and help pay our bills from month to month, they are VIPs regardless. They don't have to pay anything extra. They don't do that stuff. And, you know, when we do an event, you know, those people get in 30 minutes early. Those people get special stuff when they come in. Those people end up getting to have access if we have an after hours party and things like that. You know, I found it's more rewarding and more enjoyable to do that rather than charge $50 to somebody so they can get a print or something extra and things like that. So I just prefer rewarding the people who have been loyal to us for decades.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. We've got we have a couple of reservists that there's one guy who doesn't come in now because of COVID, and we send his stuff out, and it's on us. We pick up the shipping because guess what? He's been with us since we've been open, and we will continue to. He's our longest, serving reservist, and I'll make sure that his books go out as soon as I can, and we'll even up the charge to send it to him FedEx.
Right. I don't know. Be careful with FedEx. The box you sent over, we were closed for a day, and one of the normal days were closed. I showed up here the next morning, and the box was just sitting at the front door. I don't know when it got there. I don't know if it was the day before or whatever. It was just sitting, leaning against the glass door.
There are raccoons gnawing at it, like, arr, 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 like, yeah.
I mean, anybody could come by and snagged it up. Yeah,
I put some books in there, and I put some chicken quarters for you to boil.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, next time I'll send some crawfish in with yours.
Oh. Yeah, Jersey meat, man. Yeah, like live crawfish coming up to New Jersey. That would be awesome. Look for the
pork roll.
Oh, pork roll. Yeah, we're saying some pork roll. But yeah, look for the Ming and Mike loyalty crawfish boil in our parking lot soon.
Ooh, if there was a way we could get some crawfish up to y'all, that would be awesome. I might actually that would be worth going ahead and like paying to get them like frozen shit. Well, the thing is you can't freeze them; they've got to be done live.
Yeah.
Yep. Try to figure out a way to get something up there, and I'll come up there and I'll do a crawfish boil for you. I'll bring all the good seasonings from down here. And
damn, I'll take you up on that.
The only thing we got to figure out how to get the crawfish up there.
We'll figure it out. Mike, that box is moving. Catch it before it goes down the street.
I think about the only way I'd probably be able to make it happen is if I just drove up there nonstop with them all in the cooler in the back and
wearing a diaper like that lady.
I think it'd be a little bit easier just have y'all come down here.
That'd be probably and that'd be a lot more fun too. So we'll
Ming can get his Barks root beer.
Of course, in a bottle, like it should be.
In a bottle. Oh, Barks in a can kind of sucks.
It's got a whole different flavor. Matter of fact, a friend of mine, she does estate sales, and she's looking at opening a business for it and starting or buying the old Barks root beer building that's here, the original Barks root beer building, and turning that into like a little museum where she can showcase some of her artwork and stuff like that.
Cool. I mean,
that sounds amazing. I didn't even know there was an original Barks building in Biloxi.
You'd be very disappointed in it because it's so dilapidated and run down. It's going to cost a lot of money to get it back up to snuff. But one of the cool things is on the wall is written the original recipe, handwritten on one of the pieces of wood on the wall.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I thought you were going to say when they had that big fire, there are all these. No, I'm not.
All the charred handprints and stuff. But yeah, you could go in there and see the original recipe for it, and to me, that's just classic.
Yeah, you guys keep bringing up the word fire, which is kind of a sore subject this week. So, but
of course it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was gonna. We talked a little bit. How's things going with all that?
So for anybody who hasn't been, looking at our Facebook feeds or whatever, a hurricane rolled up the East Coast last week, took out most of the electricity where we live, and I guess the story I got was when they tried to restart it, the transformer blew on our roof of the podcast studio, and it overloaded and set an electrical panel on fire on our floor. And luckily, I guess it was contained somehow, but they sent the fire department up, right? And they hosed down the roof. And that was when you got there, right? When were you going up the stairs and the firefighters were coming down?
No, I actually went up the stairs with a firefighter.
You did? Okay.
He's like, "What unit are you from?" I'm like, "I'm not." Get out of my way.
Let me ask you this. How old is the building?
It's 1979. So what does that make it?
Okay.
41 years? Or 31?
So
41.
The reason I was wondering is because like a lot of buildings, especially ones down here, they actually, since they were grandfathered in, everything else, it still had aluminum wiring. And once something, you believe it or not, once something like that happens, they have to go ahead and redo all the wiring. But depending on what burnt up there, they're probably gonna have to do a lot of rewiring on the whole thing, which is gonna take a little bit of time.
Yeah. So, luckily everything is okay. None of our stuff was touched. We saw a couple water spots on the ceiling tiles from the water that they probably used to hose down the roof. I think as me and Mike were going up the stairs, water was coming down, like not cascading, but it was flowing. It was coming down the steps.
What floor are you on?
We were on the 5th floor. We were on the top floor.
Okay. Oh wow! So you're right there where it all happened then.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked around. I didn't see any burn marks or anything. We just saw some water, but I imagine a lot of the wiring got fried, and that was about a week ago. And so we don't know when we're going to be back in. They've let us in to grab stuff, and there's no electricity in there still, so we can't operate in there. And it sucks. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Luckily y'all got an interim place to do it, and plus you can always be out there in front of the stash.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. So that's the beauty of this. As long as there's internet connection and some kind of outlet, we can still go.
Are they still doing the nightly thing up there where the restaurants come out to the streets? Oh, that's fantastic. Honestly, that'd be something I'd almost even want to consider doing even after all this is over with, because all the pictures and video I saw, it was
it's great.
It was a great atmosphere. It was cool. It was gorgeous looking, and it was actually turns out it looks like it was a lot more inviting to people walking by than just having the stores open.
Yeah, it is. And you have that whole pedestrian. It's what do we call it, Ming? The
esplanade is the word you were using. The esplanade.
The esplanade. So yeah, Red Bank's Esplanade. It's great.
Oh, excuse me. Well, hopefully, like I said, I'm still waiting on some stuff to go over because I promised for a while I'm going to come up and visit. And like I said, and after looking at round trip flights are not that bad. Even before all this, not that bad to Jersey and back. So
yeah, you're always invited. We always invited. We owe you a lot, and I mean, we'll take you to our favorite food and drink places for sure.
My basement.
Hey, I'm good with that.
That was So where Mike is right
in the studio, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, we got 2 couches, so take your pick. And where Mike is our alternate location, which is Mike's basement, which we actually live streamed last night when we did our unboxings for Fanboy Collectibles. And it's got kind of kind of a rustic. Somebody called it a man cave, but it's open to everybody.
It almost looks like old grandpa's basement. Yeah,
sort of. It's brand new, but we're getting there.
Do you have any old like boar's heads laying around, and maybe like an old shotgun that you could hang up there? And
I can get you some deer heads easy.
Take a look at that. I got old railroad lanterns.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Stuff.
So that's what I like. That's why I think the rustic look. I know what I see in the back. You've got like almost like a stone wall back there.
But yes. Here, let me take you around.
This is the tour of Mike Zapcic's basement. Everybody, a little bit never before seen tour of Mike Zapcic's basement.
I might have somebody else who wants to come over here and say hi.
Wall of weapons. I've got hatchets up there. I mean, like old timey hatchets. I've got a compound bow back there just in case.
Where's your crossbow?
My crossbow.
Hey, Crystalline Hoverman in the house, everybody. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are y'all?
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Yep.
Are you just stopping by, or I heard was it cosmetology or was it hair?
Yeah,
nice.
Cosmetology. It's still it's hair.
Awesome. How's it going so far?
Pretty good. I've been sick the past few days with a head cold, so I've had to miss. But other than that, it's been pretty good.
So I'm expecting your cosplay makeup to be like super awesome from this point forward.
On fleek.
Oh, okay.
We've already talked. Our friend Stephanie, apparently, she's got a different style of hair than most people do. So, and so Krista's already got a thing going on with her where she's going to start cutting her hair for her and learn how to cut different styles of hair, not just regular straight hair.
Yeah.
But you know Stephanie, Ming.
Yes, I do. I think, and if you've watched the stream, you would know her too. So she's hard to forget, ladies and gentlemen. But one of the biggest geeks we know too, which is pretty funny.
Oh,
so
dude, she's
awesome.
a ham. She's a mess. All right,
a beautiful mess. A beautiful mess. Wow, cameo, yeah. Krista Hoverman, everybody. Krista Hoverman.
Bye.
She'll always stick around.
Bye. It's always good luck when we see her. So hopefully that means things will be looking up.
It's good luck for you, but it means my wallet gets lighter.
Yeah, that's why you got to sell. That's
register.
I mean, she's already walking around looking at stuff, trying to figure out what she's going to take home.
No, you said you wanted to show me something.
Well, I'm on here right now.
But was it just
yeah, you can see those. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, they I know. Sorry, everybody.
Don't be sorry.
Yes.
All right, talk to you later. Yeah, I'm trying to get her. I've been loading up and stocking up. I don't know why, just on a whim, I've been buying a lot of inflatable costumes. So,
like the T-Rex ones, like the ones with the fans built in, and what do you ever?
I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to go all normal. So I actually have a Reptar one.
Okay.
From Rugrats.
Yeah, Rugrats, Reptar. Okay.
And then I just picked up a Pikachu. And then I ordered a Baymax.
Oh, that's awesome! I think we'd been toying. We just talked about the street being closed off in Red Bank. And Mike was like, "Why don't we do like a running of the bulls?" And I'm like, "Hey, why don't we do it with the inflatable costumes?"
Inflatable costumes, I'm telling you.
Chase kids down the street. And I'm like, "What a great idea!" As we're knocking down tables and people's like $100 glasses of wine and their like coho salmon. Well,
I don't think we ever said let's chase kids, Ming, because that would be horrible.
I'm almost certain you had suggested about getting kids to chase.
Well, maybe hiring kids to chase.
I'm almost certain that you had suggested that, but maybe not.
Paid actors.
Yeah, we'll get some little people out there and dress them up like kids.
The kids would love it, but I think that's a great idea. It's just coordinating all of that. We haven't done that yet. But I had thought just like everybody just get the T-Rex ones from Amazon. But yeah, why not get a payback?
You could get like the dancing cow. You can get all kinds of stuff, and that's what we do. We'll end up either when I'm bored or if I've had a little too much to drink.
Right.
Well, I'll put one on and just take a sign down to the road and wander around. And if there's a few of us, we may get into a little bit of a wrestling match while we're out there. Hopefully not cause any car accidents. So
that's not your fault. That's
any cars. That would be good.
The worst part is when you put it on and you don't act like yourself because people can't realize who you are. So you can actually be a little more out there if that makes any sense.
Oh, very much so. Yes.
Yeah, and I think the whole point of it was like, you're in that suit. It's kind of like a hazmat suit. You're socially distanced. It's safe.
Exactly.
Like, it's perfect.
I thought about actually wearing one up to the store just to try to go shopping.
Yeah. I think we got to do this. We got to just throw up a Facebook post and be like, all right, head on Amazon, or if you have one already, bring it down. And at 8:00, we start on one street and we're going to the other. And if you got kids, we'll chase them. But if you don't, like, it's not a requirement.
You can do it as a marathon, like a race or a run, where somebody at the end wins a prize, and have nothing but inflatable figures running down the road.
In my head, I just see everybody just kind of bouncing off each other and people falling down. Like, yeah.
And maybe set up things for an obstacle course they have to do. Put the bat down there, or they have to put their forehead on it and run around a few times.
Oh, the dizzy bat. Yeah, they throw up in the costume. Like,
oh man,
probably not a good idea.
Well, you get bonus points for that.
Yeah,
running that just shit's running out their leg. Oh,
but I think the point is, that's a safe costume. That automatically puts you kind of like in a bubble. So
you could do that you could be like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, they actually have those too.
They have that. I've seen that. Oh actually, man,
let's see. Christopher Hugh is asking any new comic coming out. I'm not sure.
Any comic? Like
they're still coming out all the time. I'm right behind me is a ton of them. But yeah, this is all the new stuff that'll be out available tomorrow.
Yes, because tomorrow is Wednesday.
And Wednesday is New Comic Book Day, because regardless of whether or not DC says we can release them on Tuesdays, Wednesday is New Comic Book Day.
Damn straight. Good for you, Scott. Me too. I don't put stuff out on Tuesdays.
Well, I'll tell you, it's weird because I still remember back in the day, Thursdays were New Comic Book Day.
Well,
way back when Fridays was start off as Fridays and then became Thursdays. I remember actually when Capitol was still around, Capital City, their warehouse was actually in New Orleans, one of them. And every Wednesday night we would drive Wednesday I would work at the shop and Dave would drive down to New Orleans to the warehouse, pick up the books, bring them back. He'd be back by the time we closed on Wednesday. We'd stay up there till midnight, 1 a.m, doing the pulls and getting up the next morning for the re-release.
Remember when reservist lists were like 800 pages long?
Oh, jeez. Dude, I remember having to, back then we would actually have to, we wrote them on paper bags. We'd have their name with all their lists on paper bags.
Oh, now you would fill the bag?
And some guys would have front, back, and we'd have maybe one or a few guys, even 2 other bags that we had lists for them. And that's kind of almost what we've had to go back to doing with DC now with the ordering. We're a little more high tech than that, but it's still more analog than anything. I've got basically every title written down in a 3-ring binder with people's names under it. And I've got it in alphabetical order. I'll add from it as I need to. And, that's basically how I've been trying to do my orders lately with them anyway.
I do it according to my favorite reservist. So if you're at the end.
Yeah, tough luck.
You got to ply me with cigars and food.
No, I will tell you this. I actually went ahead. It's free right now, but normally it's like $60 a year. It goes along with the Comics Week program, which, like I said, if you ever talk Walt into doing it, it makes ordering so much easier. Or it did before this whole DC thing. But they've got another thing now. It's called Previews Pull Box,
right? Which
you can add on to it. And basically, it allows the customer to control their own subscription list. They have their own account. They access through Diamond, and it loads and uploads. Now, you can, like for me, I've got it set to where they can't spend more than X amount of money or spend more than X amount on any one item before I have to approve it. But basically, there's no more of those complaints of, hey, this was supposed to be on my list. You didn't add it to my list. Now it's your responsibility to keep your list up. So there will be no complaints. There'll be I'm sure there'll still be complaints, but there'll be no reason for complaints or why somebody missed something saying they ordered it. Because the best part is like I said, if someone came in today and they show up tomorrow saying, oh, it's on my list, I can actually go on Diamond's site to this Previews Pull Box thing and look, it's like, no, you just added this to your list 3 hours ago.
Right. I was like, all right, you're wrong, but we'll get it for you and we'll give it to you next week or whatever. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's helped out tremendously. Hold on. Let me add somebody just came here. Let me open the door right quick. Sorry.
Yeah, we heard that knock. Special guest, everybody. We don't know who it is. It's like, Scott, you got to stop podcasting and serve the customers.
What if a guy comes up with a gun? What do we do?
Well,
call 911. But the worst part is at this time of night, usually the people that show up are well, I think last time we had Corin on and Jason London showed up.
Yeah,
so
that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, speaking of, it looks like he's going to be probably moving down this way. He loves the area. Every time we get somebody down here, they decide to stay.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Having been there several times, it's pretty awesome.
And I got to tell you, Corin is actually, first time I ever met him, really nice guy. Anybody who doesn't know, he was Parker Lewis on Parker Lewis Can't Lose. And they're doing a thing called the Love America Tour. And basically, he's traveling across the country, and it's all done by GoFundMe and Patreon. It's all, supported by fans and things like that. And he's interviewing everyday people, trying to get away from the whole political aspect of everything and just see how people are doing throughout the country. And I got to give it to him. I know when the next leg comes up, he's going to try to come by through New Jersey.
Oh yeah, we've already invited him. Yeah, he's got. Yeah. We've got to get on there somehow.
Yeah, he's got a. I found out he got an acting job, so he's going to be it's going to delay things for about 2 weeks. But after that, I think he's going to try to head up your way, and just he wants to talk to people. He'll probably end up interviewing both of y'all, and then of course y'all have him on your show as well.
Yeah, we're in for sure. And I saw the photos of your interview. How did that go?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Honestly, it was more comfortable than I thought it was going to be because I don't normally talk about myself very often. And it was very well. I mean, I guess him being an interview was pretty well done. There was really no preparation for it whatsoever, but he did a fantastic job and prompted at the right time and had a good. I'm sure he's got in his mind a good amount of questions anyway, some standard stuff he asked, but he was actually very, very enlightening on how he did it. I think some of the things he did there, I'm going to end up using when we do interview people on our podcasts and our streams and stuff, because I don't know how to explain it. They weren't really even open-ended questions. They were directed towards one specific thing, but it worked.
That's awesome. And then, I know he's shooting it all, cutting it all together, and people, and he's posting them on YouTube, which is awesome. So, yeah, we want to be on this for sure.
Well, make sure, I said, if anybody wants to support it, they do have a GoFundMe page. It's the Love America Tour. I think you can look it up. And they've got a website where they sell merchandise, stuff like that. But all the money goes towards funding their tour across the country.
Yeah, the technology, like all that stuff. I love that he's doing this. It's crazy, but that's why it's going to work. So that's why it is working.
Well, it's all bare bones. Like most of the video is shot on his cell phone.
Right.
And then they do have a GoPro that they use for certain stuff too. And of course, they're using a Zoom H6 for their audio. So it works out really well.
Yes, of course. Why you don't say?
Wow,
you don't say.
Yes.
Well, just out of curiosity, Mike. So how is the shop doing up there? Y'all are back open. Y'all are ready.
We're open. We're doing okay. We're doing better than a lot of people. People they're done with Netflixing and chilling, and they want to go out. And
they want a comic book and cuddle.
Yeah, and this is why floppies will never go out of style.
Right.
People, I mean, there's us. There's guys like us who are older who have disposable income and who are buying the stuff that they had as kids, and we're hopefully raising our kids to appreciate the art form. My oldest son is not a huge fan of comics, but he's a reader, and my youngest son loves the idea of comics. He hasn't found the one for him. It's like the one that, like that lightning bolt that hits, and it's like, I am a comic collector for life. But you need to have something in your hands. You can't watch it on TV.
Yeah, you can't dismiss the younger generation. I'll tell you, I posted about it on the page, but a great story I can tell you is this happened a few weeks ago. Father and daughter came in. The girl was probably about 7 years old. And as soon as she walked in, she was excited as all get out. She was yelling out characters' names when she saw the cover. She was just, when I say yelling, she was yelling. She was so happy. And her dad was saying how, she had looked at some of his stuff, growing up. And like I said, she was probably around 6, 7 years old. And I'd mentioned to him about the free comic book day summer thing. And I was showing her some of the books for that. And she saw the Spider-Man one. She's like, Venom! And that's what she wanted, was Venom. Well, then we get to talking. Her favorite character is the Batman Who Laughs. And she was telling me how, she has the entire run of Dark Knight's Metal except for issue 3. She was missing issue 3. So I went back to the back issues, and sure enough, we still had an issue 3. So I pulled it out and asked her dad if she made good grades. He said yes. She said yes, and handed it to her. I said, well, normally this isn't a free comic book, but it is today. And this woman, this girl was so happy and excited, and just, it was a sight to behold, just seeing that next generation of young kids come through and trying to foster that love that we all have in them, which she already had the spark going.
That's excellent. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That 1 in 100. You know, maybe my kids won't be comic book nerds like I am. It'll save them a lot of pain that I went through. But, you know, we need those kids. We need the kids who are like, I would much rather read my comic books than play video games or TV.
And that's my thing is that, you know, it used to be, you remember back in the day when it was time for a new release, like say for, you know, like the Death of Superman, there were people lined up out the door, camping out the night before, which y'all kind of get the same thing whenever Kevin shows up. But,
True.
But you know, nowadays, well, for a long time, it was at GameStop and things like that, you know, midnight release of things. But now with everything being downloadable, even GameStop's feeling a hurt where they're not, you know, we're in a generation where people want it now. And, you know, they don't want to have to wait till the release and wait in line for everything. Well, they could just sit at home, download it, and be playing it in 5 minutes.
I don't believe in that at all because that's instant gratification. It does nothing for hyping, and you
don't appreciate it.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly it.
It's like, oh, great, I got it. Now what's next?
Yes, that's the thing. You go through. A friend of mine works at GameStop. That's what he says. There's kids who will come in that will buy a game, and you know, pay full price, brand new for the game. About 4 or 5 days later, after they beat the game, they'll bring it back and trade it in for something else.
For $5.
Yeah, they'll trade it in for $5 and spend another $55 to buy the new one that's coming out that next week.
And that's why there are 5 GameStops in every major city. So they figured it out, ladies and gentlemen.
But like I said, but now even they're taking a hurting now because, like I said, it's got to the point where I think they're now partnered or they bought Think Geek or Think Geek bought them. That's the reason why they're carrying more and more oddball stuff and action figures and Funkos and things like that. But their actual video game sales have gone down tremendously because everything's downloadable now. Yeah,
too easy. Can't do it.
But they're working in or living in a digital platform. So that's what the big difference I see between what we do and what they're doing is because that's based off of a digital platform, whereas ours is a analog thing.
We've always been analog. And, you know, I was talking to a couple of guys today, and is DC's thing the death knell of comics? And it's not. Never. Not as long as people like you and me are alive. They still are going to have to they're going to have to cater to us at least a little bit. You know, even if they're not putting out new content, they'll repackage the old stuff.
Right.
Which is okay. And another thing that I think DC is short-sighted for, they're like, we've got libraries of stuff that we can put into, you know, cartoons, into movies, into whatever the hell we want. And it's like, well, you're doing a shitty job on the movies. Pardon my French.
Exactly.
You are. You're doing a crap job on the movies. Your cartoons are great, but so what?
Yep.
You know, it's a comic book, but you have to change it, and you don't. You feel like you have to change it, but you don't.
Right. And the big thing for me is, you know, as far as the cartoons and the comic books go, I'd almost wish that they would actually put at the beginning of the movies, you know, it would think it would be self-serving for themselves too, but to put like the comic shop locator service number at the beginning of every movie, the website, things like that. So that way, with a little ad saying, hey, if you're like this movie and you're wanting to know more about these characters, visit your local comic book shop. You can find them by going to this.
Exactly. Yeah. Guess what? You know, we've got 80 years of, you know, past stuff.
Yep.
You can 82 years of content at your fingertips.
Yep. You just watched a 2-hour movie and we have freaking years worth of time that you can actually spend enjoying doing the same thing.
Right. Exactly. Even though, you know, we all know that the stuff from 1938 to 1955 is kind of crap, and even the stuff from 1955.
I'm not going to lie. One of my personal favorites, I still like the old Captain Marvel stuff. The CC Beck, that'll always hold, even though it's before my time, it'll still hold a special place. As silly as it is, I just still love it.
I'm with you. One of my favorite go-to books is The Great Comic Book Heroes that was curated by Jules Pfeiffer. Mm-hmm. And It's got the origins of Superman, Batman, first Joker, Spectre. I mean, it's amazing, and just the artwork pops off the page. And yes, while they were self-contained and kind of silly, and they contradicted themselves in some circumstances, they were still great reads.
Well, that's the one thing I pride myself. I mean, I own for Silver Age. I own a complete collection of Legion. I've got first appearance on the way up. Not some of the newer stuff. Some of the newer stuff, I don't know why. I just can't. Then, as far as I guess Bronze Age, my Superman family and Batman families.
Very nice.
And then, as far as Golden Age, I'm only missing about 2 issues of Police Comics to finish up my Plastic Man stuff.
Damn. That's pretty.
But those are my personal ones. The rest of the stuff, when we opened the shop, I pretty much said, "Yeah, all right, I'm no longer a collector. This is a business," and it all went up for grabs. There's very, very few things I collect. I think about the only thing new that I've gotten where I want to collect myself. Jim Shore just got the license for the DC stuff, so I've been picking all of those up so far.
I'm sorry, what was that, Scott?
Jim Shore, he normally does. He's got like a stylized thing like Block, but normally does Disney stuff and things like that. The statues.
Okay. Oh, statues. Gotcha.
Yeah. They just got the DC license, and they've come out with probably about 6 or 7 statues so far from there. And I figure, you know what, I'm gonna get those from beginning to end.
That's very cool. I was picking up when Dark Horse had the Marvel license. Those Silver Age, remember the little things?
Oh yes.
Or of Iron Man. Yeah, those I pick up every once in a while. Some of them are still over in the studio. I get what I liked. I had Bowen busts.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Mimic, Wonder Man, with the safari jacket, and there was this one Wolverine. It was Earth X Wolverine with blood all over him. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say, but the statue wise, I've gone to through a gambit of different stuff. I started off. I'll put it this way: back when Sideshow first started, my account number with Sideshow was 4. Wow. So I had been with them since the very, very, very beginning. But as much as beautiful as their statues are, the only thing that kind of made me slowly get away from them is the price was going up more and more. And it, I think one of the things the rep I had, she was telling us, one of their biggest things which turned me on was at the time their biggest print run was 1,500. That was the most they were going to do. They were going to cut off pre-orders. Then it went up to 2,500. Then it went to 3,500. Then 5,500. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's enough's enough. I'm not going to pay my cost, $700 and something for a statue I can only sell for $825.
Right. Yeah. Just the margin is, for sure.
Let's see. Hold on. Somebody just come in. Ming, Mike. What's your favorite comic that you still read, or that you?
That is still a great read.
Still a great read. There you go.
Oh man, like we got to pick one. I guess. I was going back to my old Preachers during the quarantine. That and the Marvel Now Hawkeye, the Matt Fraction. I just had one later. I might have one right here actually. I can't remember if I got rid of my pile here or not. It was like sitting here at my. Is it?
Yes. Speaking of Preacher, I just went back and reread all my trades of Lucifer. I forgot how good that series was.
Did you listen to the Audible rendition of Sandman?
Not yet. I bought it already, but I haven't listened to it yet.
For shame. Although I gotta applaud the fact that you're Starman, good for you, Ming.
I constantly talk about this, and I want them to make it into a movie or a TV show, but I don't think a lot of people have read this for whatever reason. I think there's just I don't know if it was the time. It was like 96, 97, and everyone was just reading Spawn and Image, but
somewhere around here, I have original art from that series. Mitch Bird actually drew like 3 or 4 issues of it.
Oh, cool. I think that's one of the best series ever.
James Robinson was fantastic.
Yeah, we have the Omnibuy at the studio.
Yeah, I have it like all like 6 volumes or
6 volumes. Yeah,
that's awesome. And then this, if you're not reading this is a recent favorite, is Manifest Destiny, which is the Lewis and Clark expedition, except like awesomer, like better than that stuff that put you to sleep in history class. I really think they should just give this to kids and be like, here, knock yourself out. This is America. This is how it happened.
Independent wise, I'm telling you right now, Saga still to me is one of the best written things I've seen in a long time.
Paper Girls is really good.
Paper Girls is phenomenal. Deadly Class.
Deadly Class is cool. Snot Girl.
Snot Girl.
I haven't picked up any of those. I don't.
Yeah, you should pick them up. Take a read. I like Bulletproof Coffin because it's so weird, and the artist is Shaky Kane, and they've got their own little world going there. Let's see. Still a great read. Why the Last Man?
Yes,
yeah, and then I've been picking up these only because started picking up single issues at cons, and then now they're blowing up because they're doing the TV show. But
you want another good read is the if you want some good trades, the Crisis on Multiple Earths. I think there's 5 volumes of it.
Yes, actually 6.
6 volumes. And if you want to read some really good stuff. I think number 4 or 5. One of them is like really pricey right now. But yeah, because it's out of print.
Actually, almost all of them are out of print. I went looking today.
Really? I've got a few of them. I got quite a few of them here in stock. If you need some.
This is why we're friends, Scott.
I think I even have some of the they did the regular ones. They did like 2 or 3 of the expanded version or something like that. I guess all they were doing was showing some of the side stories from it.
Yes, the team ups.
Team ups, that's what it was. Yeah, I think I have 1 through 4, and I've got like 1 and 2 of the team ups here in stock. So if you're looking for them,
yeah, I'll make you a call.
But
you can't go wrong with
it. So one of the things I've been loving too, every once in a while, they'll have stuff that goes on sale, and I end up buying a bunch of the omnibuses, the Marvel omnibus things, right. And they ended up some of those ended up being worth a whole lot of money, and lo and behold, I ended up selling them on eBay. They stuck in here for a while, and then they ended up going for about 2 or 3 times what cover price was. So I was pretty good with that.
Like Conan, the Conan one is impossible to find.
The McFarlane Spider-Mans.
I'm sorry?
The McFarlane Spider-Man?
Yeah, well, they're coming out with that again. They're I think
I did then.
Well, good for you.
Oh man. All right. Well, actually, we've kind of gone over our time a little bit, but guys, y'all got anything else y'all want to promote, talk about?
Follow at Michael Zapcic on Instagram. Trying to get him up to 10,000 followers on Instagram. We're almost there. We're at 95, like 68 or something. And then follow Shared Universe for sure.
I'll tell you what. If I'll up to Andy if he makes it to the 10,000, some of the stuff I sent you, if I didn't send an autograph book, I will send one to you, and you can randomly pick somebody from your 10,000 and give one of the books away.
Awesome, thank you, Scott.
This prize pool just keeps getting bigger and bigger, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll even make it better. I just sent off the exclusive covers for Maggie the Cat that Mike Grell did. I just sent a bunch off to Mike, and I'm just waiting for him to get them back. So we will include an autographed Mike Grell Maggie the Cat along with it.
Oh man,
thank you.
That's awesome.
So yes, let's get Mike Zapcic to 10,000 followers.
I'm this close.
I love it. Mike supporting Mike's. I love it.
Awesome.
Well, guys, thank y'all for coming by. Everybody, thank you,
man.
Scott.
All right, y'all have a good night.